Command fire, water, storms, flies like a torch, control plants, heals and protects allies, Kineticist. Pathfinder players who want to start as this class face a problem. Why? Because he can cast a fire pillars, ice fields, death rain, create a defense trees, heal, make a flask, walk on water, move creatures, set fire, poison, drop enemies, burst into enemies like a command and get armor bonuses, and turn your basic attack into the form of any weapon, a spear made of fire, sword of air, or ice, as well as drop locks on enemies, make the group invisible, set fire, crush, freeze, poison the ground, an infinity number of times a day, as well as he has no spell slots. He can tank like a warrior, he has holes in his body, he can do 6 elements, he's got 20 feats, more than 100 impulses. And here is a question, what the heck is this Kineticist? But I will tell you all about it, and most importantly, I will show you. We need to start with his main difference from other heroes. Let's take a known hero at the first glance. If he is a user of physical abilities, it's clear, feats and attacks. With casters it's more interesting, they use spells they have learned or received. Charge 2 spells, thrown 1, there is a second one, and that's it. To cast again you have to wait, pray, touch the grass, you're left with the cantrips that you can't get far with. So wait me at the first light, I will be here on the 5th day, from the east. Kineticist is a manipulator, he can interact with the existing elements and manipulate it, change its shape, create or suppress it. Kineticist is one of the classes that open up the possibility of interacting with the world more often, thus deepening the roleplay. What gives Kineticist such power and possibilities? Plan of elements. Kineticist has a direct connection to the plan of elements through the gate and draw his powers from there. The plan of elements is a layering of spaces with different origins: fire, air, earth, water, wood and metal, and Kineticist can choose all of them or focus on a couple of them and extend their capability. So Kineticist can be nightmare for his enemies. Now, let's get into how it works and why. Here is the level 1 Kineticist. At the start, he chooses to own the one element or two. He has to choose which element plan they will be connected to. Let's say he chooses 2 simple gates, fire and air. The gates is there, and what to hit with? The answer is impulses. Impulse is the name of all Kineticist ability. Whether it's a fire arrow or ice blast or healing, it's all impulses. Magic comes from your gateway, from the plan of elements itself. That's why impulse is also similar in meaning to ejection. And one of the main differences between Kineticist and other casters, his main characteristic is Constitution. Damage is increased due to Constitution, unlike other casters who use Intelligence, Charisma or Wisdom. Kineticist has basic impulses and obtained impulses. Basic impulses are always with you. You don't choose them. Basic impulses. There are 4 of them. Channel elements. This is your opener, your power switch. Normally your magic is just turned off and you can't use any of your abilities, so in order to start using your power, you must first unleash them. When you start a fight, you spend 1 action point and an aura appear around you 10 feet away. In addition, as part of same action activating the aura, you can use 1 elemental blast attack ability for free for 1 action point. Elemental blast. Our main attack has a huge variation of use and it's used without cooldown. It's your attack, you use it as attack action with a multiple attack penalty, like your hand attack. Base Kinesis. This feat allows the Kineticist to manipulate the selected element. Extract elements. If you are facing a creature with the same type as your gate element, you can damage it and make it vulnerable to your impulses, even when a creature has the same element. Let's consolidate knowledge. You're a Kineticist and you're walking in the woods and reading the book, and suddenly you come across a creature that is hostile to you. What's the first thing you should do? That's right, activate your aura. As part of activation the aura, you're always given the opportunity to use elemental blast for free, equal to 1 action. You don't spend any additional actions when you do it during the turn your aura activation. After activating the aura, you can attack with the enemy with elemental blast. If you attack at distance, you deal fixed damage according to the table. If you do damage in touching distance, then the stretch modifier is added to the base damage. Then you have 2 action points left, and you can inflict another elemental blast with 2 actions cost and get additional bonuses for it. Constitution modifier will be added to the base damage of ranged attack, and if it's touching distance, the strength modifier will be also applied. When traveling, you can use the base kinesis. This allows you to use 3 types of element manipulation. Generation. You can create air to breathe underwater. You can create a fire to light a room, a spoon to eat or grass to interact with. In future, using additional feat, you can create simple things from the metal such as handcuff or scales. Movement. You can move the element. Suppression. You can vaporize water from a cup or extinguish a non-magical torch. Let's back to the combat. Extract elements. Usually creatures with the air element have resistances or even immunity to air damage. However, a kineticist can use extract elements to deal 2d4 damage to such a creature and also make it vulnerable to your attack even if its creature the same element as your impulses. Obtained impulses. These are your basic build defining abilities that you choose according to your gate elements or your wishes. You are given impulses to choose from level 1, 2nd, and every second level after that. The set of these impulses is unique to your class and to the chosen element of your gate. These impulses are only available to Kineticist. In return, you are not available to normal spells. Unlike the basic impulses, you will most often not need to roll attack for the obtained impulses. Instead, enemies will have to roll reflex or fortitude saving throw with a check equal to your DC class. Reminder that DC class of Kineticist is increased by your constitution. I would like to point out that some impulses have a tag overflow, which means that this impulse overloads your gate, and after using it in the end of your turn, the aura turns off, and you will have to turn it back on the next turn by spending 1 action point. Keep it in the mind during the combat. By the way, at level 7 you will upgrade your Kineticist DC to Expert and Fortitude to Master. At level 15 your DC Kineticist will rise to Master and Fortitude to Legendary. At level 19 your DC Kineticist will rise to Legendary. So what does a Kineticist have in his arsenal? As we already know, there are 6 elements, and under each element there is a set of unique impulses. Most of the impulses consist of the 1 element. On screen you can see the all impulses up to level 4. There are also a group of impulses made up of 2 elements. They called composite impulses, and they offer special possibilities, and each of one is the quintessential of epic. Let's look at an example of the level 4 composite impulse, Ambush Bladderwort. You plant a giant bladderwort seed. If a creature falls into that square, the seed grows into a voluminous plant that traps the creature and fills with water. The creature must make a reflex saving throw or it will be immobilized inside and must hold its breath. The creature can escape with escape action equal to your DC Kineticist class. If the creature dies inside the plant shrinks into a fruit. You may eat this fruit to restore 1d8 plus 4 health. Unused fruit rots after 1 hour. Sounds really cool. Let's look at another example of common air element impulse, a level 4 lightning dash. You turn into the lightning bolt and fly forward, striking everyone in your path. You can move a straight line through the creatures without provoking a reaction to move. Each creature you fly through takes electricity damage if it falls a reflex 7 throw against your DC Kineticist. At the end of your action, you return to your normal form. Really impressive. In general, the total number of impulses is more than 100, and in order not to describe each of them, I will divide them into groups and potentials. The first group is based on the effects applied to the single target. The second group is the mass attacks, cone, in straight line, or fields. Third group of impulses affecting your aura. Enemies take damage in your aura. Aura hide you and your allies, or make a difficult terrain near you. Water aura will make enemies to fall. Group 4 is defense abilities, all kind of traps, protector's tree, shields, hiding places, damage triggers. Group 5 is healing and cleansing. You can heal yourself or your allies, or create a tree that heals everyone around you and cleanses from disease and poisons. Group 6 is buffs for yourself or your team. You can create an electric sphere near enemy. This sphere will hit this enemy, and allies who stand next to sphere get a bonus to weapon damage by filling them with the shock rune. There are also a 7th group that's related to controlling elementals, including creating your own familiar. Gates. Now let's talk about the gate in more detail. At the first level you are given 2 conditional points to open the gate. You can spend a gate opening point to open a new gate or extend the already opened gates. That means that on the first level you can spend 2 gate points to open 2 gates to different elements, or you can open 1 gate and use the second point to extend it. That's important to realize. If you open a gate at level 1 and extend it, you get advantage called impulse junction. These additional bonus effects for kineticists who use the extended gates. At level 5, when you extend the gate again, you get additional bonus called gate junction. Gate junction cannot be obtained at level 1, it only appears at level 5, so if you choose the extended gate at first level and extend it at 5th level, you will have both the bonuses effects and impulse junction and gate junction. But if you choose 2 non-extended gates on the first level and at level 5 you want to extend one of them, you will have to choose which one of 2 bonuses you will get, or impulse junction or gate junction. At level 9, when you extend the same gate, you will be able to get second remaining bonus. But the general concept is very simple. At level 5, 9, 13 and 17 you can open new gates or improve existing gates and get the junction bonuses. For example, you can go the way maximum flexibility and open new gates every next level. Eventually at level 17 you will be able to control all impulses related to these elements. Or you could open the gate at level 1 and improve it at level 5, open a new gate or improve existing gate and get both junction bonuses for it and so on. The logical question appears, which is better, a lot of regular gates or a couple of extended ones? An extended gate give you additional benefits related to the chosen elements. Multiple gates allow you to extend the variability of your impulses. Let's take a closer look at what is the impulse junction and gate junction bonuses give you. If you have an impulse junction, it automatically activates when you use any impulses for 2 or more actions. Each element has a unique junction effect. Let's say you have an extended air gate and you used air impulse with a cost of 2 actions. Before or after the impulse you can move up to half of your speed or step or fly if you have fly speed. If it's earth gate, pieces of stone will start flying around you, improving your armor class. If fire, the impulse you used get a 1-step increase in damage. If it was a 1d6, it becomes 1d8. If water, you can move the creature 5 foot. The creature must be ready to do it or must fail the saving throw of the impulse that's triggered. If the creature being moving on water, the distance increases to 10 foot. If metal, you choose acid, electricity or piercing damage. Until the beginning of your next turn, anyone who attack with the unarmed attack or a weapon, excluding weapon with the long trait, take a damage equal to half of your level, with the type of damage chosen by you. If wood, you will receive a temporal health point equal to your level, which will remain until the start of your next turn. Now let's talk about the gate junction. Starting at level 5, you can get this bonus when you extend the gate. Unlike the impulse junction, the gate junction give you a choice of 4 different bonuses to choose from. When you get the junction, you can get the multiple gate junctions bonus if you keep upgrading the same gate. So the first option is a bonus of every crit. The second is permanent resistances while your aura is active. The third is useful buffs that the aura gives or debuffs for enemies if they stay inside the aura. The fourth is a free boost to one of your stats, as well as free feat. For example, air gates provide the following bonuses options. Critical strike junction, you repel the target. Resistances junction give you air and electricity resistances. I would like to point out that at level 17 the selected resistances will turn into immunity to this type of damage, but not immunity to attacks of creatures with this type. Aura junction will allow you and allies in your aura to move a greater distance. Skill junction will give you opportunity to increase the skill stealth to the trained, or if it's already trained, than any other skills. As well as it will give you the free feat, which will give a bonus to the check if you hide the object from the observer, and you can choose only one of these 4 effects. This works similarly with the rest of the elements. At the gate of earth, crit drops enemies. Earth at poison resistance. Aura becomes difficult terrain for the enemies moving away from you. The skill gives you athletic and strong carrier. Gate of fire, sustained fire damage at crit. Cold and fire resistances. Aura start inflict weakness to fire on enemies in your aura. The skill give you intimidation and intimidating glare. Water, splash damage, fire and water resistances. Aura becomes saturated with water, extinguish non-magical fire and gives resistance to fire. Skill give athletic and feat underwater marauder. Metal, critical hit will inflict sustained bleed or rust damage if the creature has a metal trait. Resistances to electricity and metal. Aura will give a penalty to enemy attack with metal objects on you and penalty to enemy armor if they are wearing metal or have a metal trait. The skill gives craft and quick repair. Starting from a master in crafting, you can repair items directly in battle. Wood. On a critical hit, the target will be rooted, poison and wood resistances. Aura will give a temporary health point to creatures that start their turn in your aura. The skill will give a survival and terrain expertise feats that will simplify the checks on the selected terrain type. Now that you know this, you can choose which gate junction bonus you want. If you have several extended gates, you can choose one of any bonuses for each, like a critical junction for the fire gate and aura junction for metal gate. Let's consolidate our new knowledge and look at the difference in the combat between extended gates and regular gates. Let's imagine the situation where two kineticists in parallel universes meet an ogre. The kineticist on the left has extended fire gate and got the impulse junction. The kineticist on right did not extend the gate but opened simple gates, fire and wood. Both kineticists are level 4 and have the same set of fire impulses for clarity. The battle begins and ogre goes first. He spent all his action points to get close to kineticist. The move goes to kineticist. The first action he takes is to activate the aura. Automatically with a free action he can do elemental blast damage at cost of 1 action point. Since the ogre is standing in close range, the damage will be increased by the strange parameter. Please note that the base damage is 1d6 for the fire elemental blast. Now we have 2 action points left, and kineticist has the choice of dealing elemental blast damage for 2 action points or using blazing wave, which is obtained impulse. If he makes an attack with the elemental blast at cost of 2 action points, then he gets a damage bonus equal to constitution. And here we see that the first difference. The kineticist on the left, who was the impulse junction, gets another advantage since the attack costs 2 action points. This increases the base damage of this impulse by 1 step from 1d6 to 1d8. Kineticist on the right doesn't have these advantages, just a bonus from his constitution. If kineticist decide to use a blazing wave impulse with the base damage of 4d6, kineticist on the left gets the same damage bonus due to impulse junction, and the base damage increases from 4d6 to 4d8 thanks to the impulse junction. If it were a level 5 kineticist, then the left one would get the gate junction bonus on second fire gate extension. Let's say he chooses the aura junction that inflicts a weakness on enemies that stand within the aura radius, and it significantly affects any actions the kineticist on the left will take. The weakness will be equal to the value of half a level of kineticist. In that case it's 2. The damage of each fire impulse increases by 2. Kineticist on the right, as we can see, does not have these bonuses because he have a simple gates. The moves goes to ogre. He makes several attacks that deal damage. It's back to kineticist. Up to this point we observed the advantage only for kineticist on the left. Now we will look at the advantages which will have kineticist on the right. Kineticist on the left has the option to continue attacking with the existing impulses dealing increased damage or move away. Kineticist on the right has more options due to larger number of gates. He can step back and place a Trend Protector, which is defense 3, heal by self using the water element, or create a shield of wood and gain the ability to block with the shield, thus protecting himself from incoming damage, or plant a Blade Ward, which we looked at earlier, as well as having defense reaction of water gate to take a less damage in the previous turn, thereby minimizing the damage received for the next ogre attack and increasing possibility of survival when facing a dangerous enemy. This example shows that whether you choose extended gate or few simple one depends how you want to play the character. If you want to take on the role of full damage dealer, the extended gate will allow you to do more damage or get additional bonuses by spending the same amount of action points. If you want to play the role of flexible character who can adapt to unexpected conditions and have different ways to influence the course of battle, then a few simple gates will help you with that. The general conclusions are summarized as follows. The advantages of kineticist is a variation, unique abilities, and sense of progression with each level. From the minuses can be noted that kineticists have several interconnected mechanics, someone just not interested to learn all of them. Also, a large number of kineticist impulses are associated with the mass damage, which might not appeal to your allies who want to fight in close range. So, key knowledges. Impulses, constitution, manipulations, aura is always first, overflow, elements, large selection of ability set, gates can be extended, composite impulses, flexible but difficult. At the end you can see a list of starting impulses, as well as recommendation to take the first level feat which calls weapon infusion. Its ability to extend your elemental blast attack is limitless. You can use it to turn elemental blast into the form of any weapon and give you almost any trait in the game. In particular, you can use the throwing type to turn your attack into a fire dagger, for example, allowing you to perform the elemental blast attack on the distance, but with the added strange modifier like your attack in close range. I also would like to say that Kineticist have a 6 gates, 6 elements, 12 slots, 20 feats, 19 regular impulses and 15 composite impulses, and I was trying to calculate the number of possible builds that Kineticist could create, and during this calculation I felt like I was getting close to something was popping in my head, but eventually I gave up on the time because it was
Schizophrenia.